Hi, and welcome to Have a Chat. I am Veronique Arsenault, your host today, with my absolutely fantastic co-host, Judy Loche.
And welcome to this Monday, everybody. In March, we're at now. That's awesome.
I know.
I'm glad to say it.
And we've been off for a little bit.
Due to storms.
Storm.
Production just cannot take place with the weather happening like that, so it puts people at risk and our producer at risk and everything traveling. So we're back.
I know, it's nice to be back together.
Yes, it is.
And we have a new introduction on our show. We have some new cameras here in the studio. Everything's new.
Change is good.
I feel new.
Yes.
So it's my turn actually to have the quote of the day.
You have the quote.
I have the quote of the day. And, I thought long and hard before I picked this one.
Okay.
Because we've talked a lot about it in the past, but I really do feel like how you feel sometimes, most of the time, is a choice.
Okay.
So here's my quote. Attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Optimism is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Giving is a choice. Respect is a choice. Whatever choice you make makes you. Choose wisely.
Good one. Roy T. Bennett.
Yes.
I believe he's an American author, if
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah.
Everything resonates with me, and it's an accurate piece of work that he wrote. I'm just going to ask you what you think of the one aspect of happiness is a choice when we know that people are dealing with financial disaster, maybe terminal illness.
Yeah.
It's really hard for those people going through that to be happy.
No
Or
question.
if you see people that are successful and you're unsuccessful due to lack of whatever resources you may have, to feel happiness.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's tough. You're right. There are definitely circumstances. There are days when there is no way around what our brain is thinking. Right.
Yeah.
There is no way. There are days when I'm sitting there and fewer and far between. But there were definitely days when I was going through the worst of it there through the restaurant chaos, where there was nothing I could have done to make myself happy.
I guess that's
to
my
feel
point.
that.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, people are dealing with life and death.
Yes.
Right? But I think when you think about your regular everyday, if I get up today and I say, you know what, today's going to be a great day.
Yes, attitude.
I'm gonna feel good. I'm happy. And I talked a lot about last year and working hard at being happy. And I think you can do that.
Yes.
Not every moment is happy, but I think you can make the choice to work hard at being happy.
Or look around your life and see what things in it are going to bring you happiness.
Definitely.
Like your family and friends.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic, and for Lent I gave up complaining, so I have 40 days to hold it all in.
Oh, you know what? I gave up. So I would rather drink ginger ale than do anything. Anything.
Oh, really?
Anything. I don't care what it is. I would rather drink ginger ale than anything.
Love it.
I love it that much.
Oh.
And so I had given it up for quite some time last year, and then probably actually about 8 months. And then I started drinking it again, and the bubbly goodness, I tell you, it makes my day. Okay. So anyway, I was back up to drinking too many. So I did give up ginger ale for Lent.
We're going to hold on to each other. We're going to get through this, and I shall not complain.
I shall not complain either.
So on the non-complaining note, but on a topic of where we could complain, what do you think about the time change? Has it affected you?
I don't like it.
Yeah, it really does do a number on people, doesn't it?
I don't adjust well for whatever reason. And it's funny because I travel a lot and go through lots of, different time zones.
Yeah.
But I really, really dislike the time change.
Well, it does definitely, it's proof that our circadian rhythm in our body changes.
Yeah.
So therefore it affects your mood, it affects even your eating habits, because you're used to eating at a certain time when you get up in the day, but there's that hour that you're off of your regular schedule. So it just does go back and forth to people's
Did it affect your sleep?
Overall well-being. I think mentally it affected my sleep because I thought, watch this, I'm probably going to be affected by the change.
Yes.
So then you're going to this mental mode of, I'm not going to feel right tomorrow.
No, that's right. Well, they say that the Monday after the time change, there are the most accidents in the year.
This is it?
Yes.
So I'm not backing out. You go first when we leave the parking lot.
I'm not doing it. I really, you know what, I don't know. And like I said, I mean, and you travel a lot as well. But I find that time change, that once a year when we spring forward.
Yeah, although the days are going to be longer and brighter.
Yeah.
That's a positive. No, we get a little bit more darkness to sleep in the morning if we want that.
Yeah.
And then the days seem longer and brighter, and you have to go to bed as early, it seems.
So when I got up at 5:30 this morning, because that's when I get up.
I won't complain.
That's when I get up every morning. I was grumbling because I'm like, I know it's really only 4:30. I know it's really only
Yes,
4:30.
it's a mental thing.
It was totally. And my dog, I love my dog. I love my Jenny.
Yes.
I love my Jenny. But my dog has discovered that there is a fox that cavorts.
Yes.
Cavorts around my house, right? And so Jenny can see the fox out the window every night. And so at 3 o'clock, Jenny was watching the fox and talking to the fox loudly. But the fox also discovered a girlfriend in the last couple of days.
Oh, good.
So the fox and his girlfriend were frolicking on the lawn this morning.
So you got how many hours of sleep?
Not many.
All right.
Not
Oh,
many.
poor you, Veronique.
Yeah, but that's okay. It was okay. So busy weekend last weekend?
Busy weekend. I've always mostly have busy weekends. Last night I emceed the St. Patrick's concert at St. Michael's Basilica.
Yes.
St. Michael the Archangel. And I enjoy doing that because I am Irish.
Yes.
And my mom and dad go.
Yes.
And my dad, I love to pick on him in the audience because he's a good sport and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a target. So I said maybe he'd come up and do a little jig for us.
I'd love to see Ivan doing the jig.
No. But there's some fun components. The children are happy because they're performing.
Yeah.
The older people are getting a kick out of the kids doing their dancing and singing. But you know yourself as an MC, you have to keep things rolling.
Yes.
If you're the main person up there on that stage keeping things flowing, you have to bring an energy level to that crowd.
Oh, always.
And if you don't, they're going to be with you on a downward
Yep.
slope. So I had to be on all the time.
Yes. And you do a lot of prep work before you MC something.
Well, you have to have jokes, right?
Yes.
Because they were at one point setting up something musically, and the technical part of it wasn't going as well as they had planned. So they were trying to get their chords set up, and so good thing I had a repertoire of jokes.
Exactly.
Which I'll tell you this real quick little one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, it's just quick. Seamus O'Malley's wife passed at home really, really suddenly, and he was so distraught. And over in Ireland, I don't know what their operator number is. It's not 911, but he called their emergency number, and the operator said, "Okay, sir, I'm so sorry, but just be cool. Just be cool. My wife passed away. What do I do?" She said, "Well, first of all, where do you live?" And he said, "At 29 Eucalyptus Crescent." And she said, "Okay, sir, we'll send somebody over. And how do you spell that, sir?" And Seamus took a little pause and he said, "Actually," he said, "if I send her over to Oak Street, could you drag her over, pick her up there?"
That's awesome.
So that was just cute.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But the concert's over and it all went well, and to St. Patty's Day is coming.
Well, it's always a great fundraiser for St. Michael's
Yes.
Basilica. I can't see. The tongue isn't even
That's
working today.
all right.
So St. Patrick's Day is coming. Everybody's Irish on St.
Yeah,
Patrick's
even
Day.
with my green today.
I
If
know,
it looks like it's
lovely.
not green, it's not. It is green.
It's quite green.
But,
it's lovely.
yeah.
So this Saturday night at the Civic Center, there's going to be a dance.
A big dance.
A big dance. Raglan Road.
Raglan Road's hot.
Tickets are almost sold out.
And it's hosted by the Rotary Club
Yes.
of Chatham.
Yes.
It's a big fundraiser for our club.
Yes.
It's going to be packed. I think they've sold 600 plus tickets already, if not more.
And last year it did sell out.
Oh yes, it's
So
a good time.
don't miss out.
And
Don't
nobody
miss out.
drinks or anything. It's a really,
No.
it's a dry evening.
Oh, very, yes. You were away recently.
I was, and it seems like a dream now because it was
know.
it was three weeks ago.
Yeah.
Went to Arizona.
Oh.
And I tell you what, Veronique, as I age, and as we all age, our bones are not quite as, what can I say, feeling good as they used to be.
As supple as they used to be.
So like I've talked about my sciatic
Yes.
nerve pain and whatnot, and aches and pains as I get older. Everything dries out the joints when you're in that desert air. So it was Arizona, and we were in Phoenix there for a while, and just to explore the dry heat and see some scenes that we never get to see, like cactuses that are huge, and which I did not know bloomed spectacularly every year.
Really?
No, we were at a restaurant with this man who is from Arizona. He said, you see when you're here the dryness and the kind of the sandy stuff, and you don't see the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
But he said, wait till they bloom. It's like a Christmas cactus, and they bloom in every color. He said,
Really?
it's just amazing. So
You
I
don't
said,
see pictures of that.
no, because we don't go in that season.
Right.
We're usually in the winter season that we go to get the heat.
Well, yes.
But I do love traveling, and I do love the desert.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Well, I was in Las Vegas.
Oh, there's nothing happening there at all, is there?
Nothing. It was terribly boring. So I was in Las Vegas, I think the week or so before you were in Arizona, and I went with my parents.
Yes.
Dad came home from the Democratic Republic of the Congo for a brief period of time. And we jetted off to Las Vegas for 5 days.
What a good break for him too.
It was great. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. We went to see one of the Vegas Golden Knights hockey games.
Fun.
We went to see the Cirque du Soleil show with Michael Jackson music, which is called One, Cirque du Soleil One. It was fantastic.
I did recommend that to
yes,
you, didn't
I?
Yes,
you did. Yeah, they were at one point dancing on the walls.
Yes. Coming off the ceiling.
Yeah, it was really quite amazing.
I love Vegas.
And you know what? We didn't gamble.
No?
Actually.
No.
We didn't.
I really don't gamble at all. I might put in a few little dollars.
Yeah,
for,
we did. About $20. Yeah, $20 in a slot machine. But the one thing that I really, really wanted to do, so I've been thinking about it for a year, and there's a zip line there called Slotzilla.
Okay.
And it's 11 stories in the air. And there's one at 7 stories and one at 11 stories. And you can either sit and zip line for a few blocks, or you can superhero fly.
Did you superhero fly?
For 5 blocks. So I did.
I believe it.
You know what? And I it's funny because I had said that, you know, I quite a few years ago, we were talking on the show about anxiety, and I talked about how I had developed anxiety. And it's funny, I really want to change the definition of that word for me. So we were going, it was my dad and so we were going, you have to go up in this cage kind of contraption on the outside of the structure. And so we're going up, and I said, Dad, I really don't think I can do this. And Dad's gone skydiving.
You know, it, right?
You know, Dad can do pretty much anything. And so he said, well, but I was having in my mind a panic attack.
Of course.
Right? And I said,
I'm having one thinking about it.
You know, and it was my idea. So Dad's like, well, whatever. But anyway, so Dad said, well, listen, if you don't want to do this, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to think less of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, starting to get that feeling, right? So anyway, we get in and they hook us on, and I'm, you know, praying literally at that point. And Dad says to the guy, you know, she's kind of really having a bit of a panic attack. Can we back out? And the guy goes, no, you're way past the time that you can back out. And then they shoot us out.
All right.
As soon as they shot us out, I was like, this is the best thing I ever did.
You stepped out of your comfort zone.
And it was like, I had to remember that years ago, I probably would have said, I'm nervous.
Yep.
Now I say, oh my gosh, I'm having an anxiety attack, or I'm having a panic
You own
attack.
it.
Right? So now it's to change what that feeling means for me. So it's not uncontrollable anymore. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling nervous, but I'm appropriately nervous because this is really scary.
Yeah, but you did it.
But I did it, and you know what? It was so much fun.
Now, in light of that, unfortunately, there's been, like I'm talking about anxiety and panic attacks and the flying that you and I both do frequently.
I know.
So we had another airline crash, Ethiopian Airlines, yesterday, which claimed 157 lives, 18 being Canadian.
I know.
And I think it was 35 people, people from 35 different countries perished in that.
Incredible.
It's a new airline, fairly new.
Yeah.
It's a 337 8 MAX.
Yes,
Boeing.
Yeah.
And so Air Canada has put out 13. And WestJet, I believe, a number of them
really?
too. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we don't know the circumstances yet. We don't know what caused it, but it was just 6 minutes after takeoff.
Isn't that incredible?
From the airport. It breaks my heart.
Well, it's like families, you know. I
Yes.
mean, and there's really just nothing you can do to save yourself, right? Like you know, when the crash is coming, I guess. But it's funny because I don't have a fear of flying because I've been flying since I was a couple of months old, because Mom and Dad were living in Europe at the time. But, you know, you have those moments after you hear stories like that and you think, oh, my goodness.
Well, if I was to be put on this new airline tomorrow, I would be very reluctant. Well, they're going to be investigating, of course, but this happened in October. This is the second crash within months. Remember when the plane went down of the same model in Jakarta?
Right.
In the Java?
Yes,
Sea?
Well,
that happened a few minutes after takeoff as well.
That's right.
So it's the same aircraft.
Right.
But an investigation will be done.
Wow.
Just as there's an investigation going into all the politics in Ottawa, there's a whole, that's just taking over the whole airway.
Yes,
but it's still a huge issue. We're Canadian citizens, and we're talking about Canadian politics here.
Yeah, very much so.
So, lots to talk about there.
Well, and you know, and it's unfortunately become kind of that he said, she said in some ways, in that, you know, people are saying, well, they misinterpreted, and it's really hard to know what happened, of course. I always feel like most stories, it's somewhere in the middle. It's not necessarily on one end or the other. It's somewhere in the middle. But it's taking up everybody's time at this point, and
Yep.
I wish that they could find a resolution.
Well, Jody Ribot Wilson,
Yep.
she was Canada's Attorney General.
Yeah.
And also the Minister of Justice.
Incredible.
Okay, so that's where I have a problem with the whole thing, because she's wearing two hats.
Yep.
And I don't see how you can wear two hats
Yeah.
and really be able to deal with this
Yep.
as to how it should be dealt with.
Yep.
She had the ultimate decision
Yep.
to
Yep.
make. So the problem is, it all began when we're putting him on a as the Prime Minister on a scale of honesty
Yep.
and integrity and transparency.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering why, if it was like, why he would call her into a private meeting. That's the whole thing.
Well,
She
I
went in
think-
there.
I think unfortunately, so many of those meetings are private. I think it's happened since the dawn of time, and I don't think politics in general allows politicians the ways and the means to be as honest as they would maybe be in their regular lives for very long.
Okay.
I think our system isn't set up that way, unfortunately, and I think it needs some deep fundamental changes. But we're just about to head to break.
Oh, are
so
we?
yeah, we'll just other news coming out of Hollywood is Alex Trebek.
I'm so sad
You know,
because I love
stage
him.
4 cancer, and so of course our thoughts are with him.
He's
and
so brave.
I know, and he's facing it, right? He says he's going to beat it.
Talking
He's
about
gonna be
it.
the
I
statistic.
love him, and we wish him well. He is a Canadian icon.
I know, isn't it? Like, he's just I think everybody's grown up in some form or another watching Jeopardy and Alex Trebek, but
Pancreatic cancer's on the rise, unfortunately.
yeah. And just as we close out, just before we head to break, International Women's Day was Friday. We are proud women
Proud
with
women.
our sister Audrey here, that's usually on
Yes.
the set with us. But we hope you had a great day on International Women's
Be
Day.
proud to be a woman.
Yeah, and you know what? And the men that support us.
Oh, yes.
You know.
But behind every woman is another successful woman.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, we have a fantastic show today. We can't wait to see our guests. We have Jordan Pender joining us from Jordan Pender Photography. And we have Wade Hal Han, who's going to sing one of his original songs. So we really have
good show.
such creative energy in here today.
Yep.
And we are so excited. So don't go too far. Grab a coffee, grab a hot chocolate. We'll see you right after the break. Take care. Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. Thanks so much for joining us again on Monday. I am Veronique Arsenault, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Judy Loge. And Audrey is off today. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us, but we look forward to having all three of us back together next week.
And we will be.
So today we are joined by Jordan Pender.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And you are from Jordan Pender Photography.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're so excited to have you. But tell everybody all about you.
Well, I'm a Newcastle boy, so I was born and raised here. And you can also see my house from the window, actually,
good,
out
right,
there.
right.
So, yeah.
Oh,
You can take a picture of it.
Over
Yes,
the
I'll
snow,
have
we'll
to.
try to find it.
Yes, not so much now in the snow, but
Okay.
yeah.
You're
typically,
really
yeah.
close to
Do you
us.
like the snow, Jordan?
I do like the snow, actually.
Oh.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's
really, yeah?
well, I lived in Nova Scotia for 15 years.
Okay.
So after I grew up here and went off to school in Nova Scotia, lived there for 15 years, and down there it's ice and
And
it's
rain.
muddy and it's rain, and
Right.
whereas here we have nice clean snow. You can ski, you can
Yes, outdoor sports
outdoor
makes it a
rinks.
lot
It's
better.
cold enough.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I
Yeah,
suppose.
Gotta look at the
great.
positive side of it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, you're
yeah.
married and
Married, yeah. So I have two young children, a boy and a girl. So they're
Nice.
both discovering the snow as well.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
So the snow angels and the forts
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
The great
slide in the
March break.
backyard. They did, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
That'd be
it's been great.
fun. Yeah. It'd be fun. I get it with kids because, you're out playing and discovering it and having some adventures. I get that part.
And
That's
on a
right,
quick
yeah.
note in Nova Scotia, the people are buying their children snow pants because the kids want to be out playing, which they should be out playing. And on the same note, they have no snow to play in, so they're ruining all their pants
Right,
and playing
yes,
in the cement, and they can't have the fun that these kids are having
No.
It's true.
in our area.
But I
Yeah.
think we have too much snow.
Oh, no, you can't be positive. My new thing's to be positive.
Right.
I'm just...
We have enough snow for 2 provinces.
Yes,
There we go.
yes.
Yes, that's true.
So how did you get interested in photography?
Well, I think that it was when we got married. We went on a honeymoon to Italy. It was our first time to Europe, and so we really wanted to have some nice photos to remember the honeymoon. And so
Yes.
we picked up a nice camera and then learned how to use it, and that's how it all began,
Oh, wow.
I guess. And then when I got back, I started doing it more and more as a hobby, and then taking a few jobs for pay, and then eventually transitioned into going full time.
So you liked what you saw when you went to Italy and captured some beautiful scenes, whether it be your wife or background or castles or churches. Then you liked what you saw. You're thinking, I can do this. It turned out really well.
Yeah,
You were
I think
positively
that
affected.
when I was younger, I was always into sort of the arts, I guess,
Okay.
creative arts, and so I went to school for science and then worked for 5 years in a cancer research lab for science, but always had this kind of artistic side.
Because this is a little bit
on
of a
the side,
departure,
so-
Yes.
departure from your original career.
It is, certainly, yeah. But even though I was working in science, I think I always wanted to own my own business. I always had that entrepreneurial spirit.
Dream. Yeah.
And so at one point we looked at starting up a biotech business. And then eventually realized that I'd like to work for myself, and there's a lot of perks to working for yourself in terms of flexibility and just the job satisfaction.
True.
And not depending on others for your career.
Yeah.
And nice when you have 2 kids at home to be able to do that.
That's right,
Have your business where you can do your own hours and go when you want to go and where you want to go.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know much about photography in the sense of the development process, the dark, the what do you call it, the dark room? Or,
I guess
call
I'm not
that?
sure what that is exactly.
Well,
it's
no,
all
you-
digital now, so
Yeah,
I have no.
Okay, see, I
Yeah.
really wouldn't have a clue then about that part of it.
No, not really. No, I mean, I
Tell us
think
about
that.
your business then, how it works.
Yeah, so with my business, I do all kinds of photography. Right now, it's about half for families, so personal photography, and then half commercial.
Actually,
So
we
for
have some of
businesses?
we have some of that. So we're just going to, while you continue to talk, we'll show some of your photography.
Great, yeah.
So yeah, there's a family.
And you can talk to these as to what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
so this is a family of 4, and they live. This was when I was in Nova Scotia. So this is
Okay.
taken on Crescent Beach in Nova Scotia. It's one of the few beaches on the south shore of Nova Scotia where you can see the sunset over the ocean.
It's amazing.
Because it extends down into the ocean, and so you get that right angle to see the sunset.
Oh,
It is
wow.
stunning, actually.
And
Stunning.
beautiful.
and they have
Yes.
wanted to have a sunset photo because where they live, they can see the sunset from their house.
Who is
so,
this
yeah.
little creature?
So this is one of the dogs that I photographed, and he's actually his owners own a dog food business
Oh.
in Halifax,
Yeah.
and they sell raw dog food.
Okay.
So it's not
Oh.
cooked, and
Wow.
it's
Interesting.
very healthy. So this dog was on death's door when he was about 9, and they switched him to a raw diet.
Yeah.
And when this photo was taken, he was 17 years old.
Very
So-
handsome dog.
Oh
so
my
he's kind of
goodness.
their
He
their
has kind
mascot.
of a Hugh Hefner pose.
He's very chill. Yeah. yeah.
So switching him to raw food gave him. He was 17 in that
He
picture.
was 17 in that picture. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go raw food with our
I think so
dogs.
too. I think I should go raw food myself.
But actually, yeah. We have to start cooking differently for our dogs
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
too.
Well, you don't have to cook.
No,
'cause
but
it's
I
raw.
meant Rob. I meant
That's
go
right.
out and purchase things more
Right,
often
that's
because
right, yeah.
when
Yeah.
I buy my dog food, I buy the best kind.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, it lasts a long time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's big, huge bag.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the raw food's a great option. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Can
comes
I'd like. This is one of my favorite ones that you've done,
Pretty
actually.
incredible.
And I'm just gonna do this.
Look at that.
I know that's one of my favorites.
And that was taken on the same beach, so Crescent Beach. It's
Okay.
my favorite beaches to photograph
Yeah.
sessions at. And
love that
what I like about this one is that the dog was moving while we took the
Yeah.
photo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I find with pets, it's nice to get them moving or get them more, I don't know, animated, I guess, versus
Yeah.
telling them to, sit. Especially when you're in the water, it's hard to get them to stay still.
Yes, I'm
They're
sure.
very distracted, but having them move
Look at that
just
face.
creates a more dynamic look.
It looks
Yeah.
like a painting, actually, Jordan. So tell us how you get the final texture to make it look like it. It really does look like a painting in person. If people can't appreciate that on TV.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems, I guess, with photography going so digital now is we're
Yeah.
used to seeing photos on our phones, on
Right.
computer screens, but we're not used to seeing them actually printed off
Right.
professionally
No, that's
in real
right.
life.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't
Beautiful.
do the photos justice to have them just
No.
on,
No.
on your phones or Facebook. And
And
so,
Do
you
you wanna pass me the other
you
one?
have another. I'm going to gently
Sure.
lay this down.
and so these are actually just they're paper, so photographic prints, and then they're mounted or glued to a masonite, which is kind of a wood product, and then coated at the end with a plastic laminate that has a texture that protects it from moisture and sunlight. And
It's a big job getting this done. Tell us about this young man, if you can.
yeah, so this is one of I guess one of the genres where I'm specializing in now is sports portraits.
Okay.
Especially where sports is so big here in the Miramichi.
Yes.
Very big.
And so these kinds of photos I take using a green screen kind of backdrop. So
Okay.
I photograph the athlete. I like them doing the action of the sport they're in. So in this case, swinging a baseball bat, and then taking out the green screen and putting in various effects after, whether it's a different location, something more abstract like this, where they have a team colors featured in the background.
Yeah,
and
I find
nice
your
keepsake.
eye quite amazing in that, in actually how you present the photos, especially the sports ones, because I've one of my friend's sons, Gregor Wilson, you did a football picture of him. Like they're just like they're professional athletes, and I love like all of the stuff that happened with the Special Olympics and how you
Yes.
mentored the students at MV with that. I love how gifted they look and what you are able to bring out in these
Capturing the
pictures.
best of them.
Yeah,
I
I
think
find
that's
it
the
phenomenal.
challenge now with photographers now, because in the 80s and 90s, the challenge was learning the technical side, learning how to get the right exposure and how to use the
Right.
camera and the lens choice. Whereas now cameras are so good that we don't have to think too much. Like our
Yeah.
phones are really good
Yeah.
at taking photos. Any camera on auto mode will do a great job taking a photo. So I think the real challenge is how do you, in the case of sports, how do you get that athlete to look professional
Yeah.
and
Set themselves
larger
apart.
than life? And then with families, how do you get them to come out of their shell and show some of their real family dynamic?
I would try to incorporate my theatrical ability into that. So, for example, if a child was taking a swing with the bat, I would say you pretend that this game depends on that swing.
Yes,
That
Exactly, yeah.
everyone's on base, and you get that look in your eye that it's make it or break it. Is that the kind of
That is the kind of thing, yeah.
avenue you take?
And then you have their moms in the back telling them to smile.
Right.
So you have to say, okay, this isn't the
course.
smile kind of photo. This
No,
is
that's
the
right. This
game
is a
face.
hardcore.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's hard too because
Yeah.
kids go through the acne and the braces stage
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
self-conscious. So it's to
We
get
all
rid
do.
of all those little issues that they have personally and just
That's
to go
right.
with being their true selves.
Definitely, yeah.
I love the colors you go with. So you'd like to work with a black background a lot of the times so that you can really zone in on the color scheme and facial features?
Definitely, yeah. A dark background. I like dark backgrounds for sports photos.
The
Just
Olympics,
lends more
Special
drama
Olympics.
makes the athlete pop a bit more. And then you can do anything with Photoshop and those kinds of programs these days in terms of adding in effects or putting them into
Oh, look at that.
professional environment.
Oh,
So
I love that.
Oh,
Why
that's
did you bring that
fantastic.
wine and fruit with you on set? Or they could have
Yeah.
actually sampled the painting.
I know.
So that was one of the product photos I had done for a vineyard down in South Shore, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Petite Riviere. So they're looking for an old Dutch
Yeah.
painting style
Yeah.
photo to go with their wine. And
Oh, I
so
love
we
it.
had that's all real fruit and real wine.
And these are all for sale, are they? Or they're personal
No.
collection of yours?
So these are all part of my portfolio for things that I've done for like companies in the past.
Clients
so
and stuff,
clients in the
yeah.
past. So they had purchased that image to use for promoting their
It's
Fantastic.
their
wines or
one-off only,
billboards,
that one.
magazine photos, that sort of thing.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So I couldn't
That's right.
get, because it's theirs and they have a right to it, I could not buy that print.
You still could, just because with rights there's exclusive and non-exclusive rights. So most of the time we're selling non-exclusive rights
Okay.
because it's less expensive for
Right.
businesses to buy
Where
those.
do
So
Where do you get your inspiration, I guess? Like, so I get it when you're doing like photos that people request, but like, is there any place that you really want to, where you really want to go and take some pictures?
I think, especially moving back home, there's a lot of places that I hadn't really known about, like in terms of like hidden gems around the province.
Yeah.
Growing up here, and when you're young, you don't have a car, you can't really explore
true.
as much as when you're older and have that time and ability to explore. And so, when I first came back last year, I was really on the hunt for just finding really unique places in and around Miramichi,
Even French Fork Cove.
French Fork Cove.
Yeah.
And
It's
even
beautiful.
places like waterfalls, like
Yeah.
Sheep House Falls,
Yeah.
there's Papineau Falls,
Yeah.
Pokeshaw Rock up in northern New Brunswick. There's all kinds of places that
Nice.
Oh, look at
back
that
then
one.
we didn't know about.
I'm like a squirrel.
This has to be one of our favorites so far.
I'm like,
Oh,
how
look
did you
at it.
how did you get them all to
So
sit?
those dogs actually have one owner,
Wow.
And she trains dogs with this agility sport that
Yeah.
these dogs.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that was in her backyard, and so they're all very energetic.
They
dogs.
look, I'm sure.
Well behaved, but as a group,
I'm sure.
it's hard to get them all
I'm
sitting at
eyeing the
once.
fourth one in, the big black and white one. The fourth one in from
Oh
the
yeah,
right.
yes. I
Yeah.
know what you
That
mean,
that
yeah.
he stole my
The
heart, or
face.
she did. I just kind
Yeah.
of, you know how teachers have pets. Well,
Yeah.
there's my pet.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
The
yeah,
one
yeah.
with the big white front.
Reminds me of Jenny.
Oh,
Yeah, and the big
that's
smile.
cute. They're all beautiful.
And so that was actually taken with the dogs were photographed individually,
Oh, okay.
one at a time,
Okay.
and I would mark where they were sitting with these rocks, and then put them all together afterwards, which is why how we got them all to have that nice expression looking at the camera all at once.
Okay,
Because
I know,
otherwise,
because
it
Fascinating.
wouldn't have been
hard.
possible. Yeah.
And the greenery is spectacular, and the flowers in the background. You're focused on the
Yeah.
dogs, but that all blends
love
in
it.
so well that it's just overall a breathtaking photo.
Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite picture that you've taken?
I would say that the dog one that we showed earlier
Yeah.
on Crescent Beach is probably up there for one of my favorite
Yeah,
ones.
that would have to be,
I love
right.
the dog sessions are great because when you go out with dogs, the owners aren't self-conscious, they aren't nervous, they're just happy to be out.
Sure.
Right.
Oh,
Very
look,
relaxed,
very
so
neat.
it's,
This
And
is a
that's
cutie.
up there too for sure.
The background too.
But
And
you
it-
must get a lot, like we were talking off camera earlier, like it must be a big thing now though. Like, cause I was thinking, well, I need to hire you to come take my dog pictures.
Yeah.
Because everybody's got a pet now and then they're like family rather than
They
they're
are.
not out in the yard anymore. you know?
Look at
Definitely,
the
yeah.
pose
I know,
here
I
is
love it.
so
So
funny.
do you have a lot of clients now with the dog pictures?
Yeah, and especially clients who either don't have kids and just have dogs, or have kids who have moved off to school or careers elsewhere, and
Yeah.
their dogs are now their new kids.
Yes.
And I think in general the pet industry is really booming now. There's when I was
Yes.
growing up, we had groomers, but now it's full-on pet spas.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
pet clothing, the food, as we were talking about with
Yep.
the raw food. That's
Oh, yeah.
all.
I like that idea a lot, the raw food.
Well, my
Yeah.
dog went to the groomer on the weekend, and it cost more to send her to the groomer than it does
Oh,
to send me to the
oh,
groomer.
yes, you
Right,
too
right.
realize you need a certain amount of
Yeah.
money to own a dog.
That's
yeah.
Like
true,
people
yeah.
think, oh, it's a cute little pup and I want it for company. They don't realize the needles
No.
and the grooming and
No.
the issues, everything that goes
Yeah,
with it.
that's
But
one
they're
of my
worth
favorites.
it. I love his
They are worth it,
expression.
yeah.
Is it a guy, dog, boy?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a mastiff of some kind.
Yeah,
I
both.
believe, yeah.
So you must have tons of pictures of your children.
I do.
I mean, they've got to be your two favorite. little
Especially my
most
firstborn.
favorite
Second born, you know how it is with
Yeah,
second
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
You could kind of
Yeah.
get a little bit lax on that. So
people. Is it hard
Yeah.
to get them to pose, or do you catch them doing their playtime? Do you catch them spontaneously, or do you get them to sit there with their favorite little outfits on mostly?
usually I know them pretty well, so I know how to coax them into
Yes.
giving me,
Yeah.
with candy or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm at home with them a lot, so I kind of know when they're in a good mood and they'll be
Yes.
ready to have
Delightful.
their photo taken. And my son's 3, so he's very animated and he's very
Oh,
into having his photo taken, whereas my daughter's 18 months and she's doesn't really understand yet what's going on, so
No.
she'll go along with anything.
That's
yeah.
right.
Cute age though to photograph, 18
It
months,
is, yeah.
because they're non-stop, right?
They are, yeah. She's busy for sure.
So what's next for you? Like, what's your
Love
next
this
big
one.
project that you're about to take on, or that you're excited about?
Well, I've been doing, I guess, some work for a local content creation company called
Okay.
Iron House Productions.
Oh, yes, I know of
And
them.
had
so
them on.
they're really doing a lot of great stuff
They
now,
are.
and you'll be hearing more about them for sure in the next few years.
You're on
Yeah.
board with them?
Definitely on board with them, so that's been
Great.
great. And then doing a lot more, I say, commercial things, I think. So things like product photography and headshots, advertising style photos.
That's your. So weddings, not so much. Like there's enough
I-
people you feel that do them, but you also do them.
I do weddings as well. I guess for me it's more of a part of that work-life balance with weddings. If you do just weddings, it's all your weekends are
Exactly.
your
Yes.
way and that sort of thing. And
Mhm.
so I've done more weddings in the past, but then we found it was, I was away a lot, especially in the summer, right?
Yes.
That's your vacation.
That's the season, right?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
do 5 or 6 weddings per year,
Okay.
take on that many. But for me, I find that I get bored if I do just one type of thing, so I need to broaden my horizons, and I'm always trying to do something else. And it's a bit of it's hard for me to focus on one thing, which can be.
So from top to
good.
finish, start to finish rather, how long would it take you to do something like this, Jordan? This picture that we looked at a little while ago of the boy.
Well, if
swinging.
you're looking at that, I guess to actually take the image,
Yeah.
so we usually take about 20 to 40 images in the studio.
Oh.
That takes about an hour,
Mhm.
and then each image takes between 5 minutes and 30 minutes to edit, depending on what backgrounds and the
Sure.
complexity. And then after that, it's a matter of meeting with the clients, having them choose which images they would like to purchase, and then deciding on the finish. So you're looking at each image is taking about maybe an hour, I guess.
But the finish
start to
part of
finish.
it, like to get this on canvas and everything, like boarded up and done.
Yeah, you're looking at at least an hour per image.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
We want to make sure just before we go to break that people can get a hold of you. So how do we find you?
the best way is just to Google my name, Google Jordan Pender Photography. I have a website, Facebook page, Instagram, all that. But
Okay, great.
the fastest way is just to Google my name. Yeah.
Jordan Pender.
Yes.
Pender.
Very cool name.
I-
Good
yeah.
Newcastle name.
Newcastle
Yeah,
name,
I really.
Definitely.
I love I love
do
everything, and I'm always fascinated by people who are creative because I'm not. But we want to thank you so much for
been
coming
very
today,
interesting.
and we can't wait to see what's next for you.
Maybe
Well,
Vero
thanks so much
and
for
I.
having me.
You do
This
a
was
portrait
great.
of Vero and I.
Definitely.
Don't go too far. We're just heading out to break, and then when we come back, we'll have some fantastic entertainment again. Grab a coffee. We'll see you right after break.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Jordan.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Great.
Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. We had a fantastic guest in our last segment, Jordan Pender from Jordan Pender Photography, and so exciting to see how that creative process happens. My name is Veronique Arsenault. I am your host for today with my fantastic, wonderful co-host, Judy Loge.
Love being with you, Vero.
I know, isn't it great?
Yes.
I'm glad that we're back.
Happy to have you.
But now we're going to get into some entertainment. And Wade Hal Han is joining us with his, as you can see, fantastic guitar.
And hard to get this gentleman pegged down because he's had a really rapid schedule
Oh, I
lately
know.
from
I
Yes, it's
know.
been busy and it's
hour to
a
hour.
pleasure to be here. Actually, I'm
Welcome.
really excited. Thanks for the invite.
Thanks
Well,
for
we're pretty happy to have you. Wade, you and I have known each other for a long time.
Yes, we go way back.
We do go way back.
Yeah.
We do too.
I know.
As does Judy and I.
I
Yes.
know.
Well,
I know.
the best thing that everyone should know about you is that you're Hal Han and I'm a Hal Han.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just key information.
Well, somehow I feel left out now.
No, you're part of the family too.
So Wade, for those of us that aren't as connected to you as we are,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Just born and bred here in Miramichi. Lived here all my life. Grew up just outside of the village of Blackville, actually. Little community of Grey Rapids.
Yes.
My heart is strong for Miramichi. I've always,
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never wanted to leave, honestly. I know that, sometimes opportunities knocked at other parts of the country
Yeah.
for, we've all been through the ups and downs with industry and jobs here on the river, but I managed to stick by it, and I wouldn't have it any other way,
And you
actually.
give a lot to Miramichi. Let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
face it, you've been involved in very many ventures in this community.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big words coming from you, Judy, with all the volunteer work you do. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just it's a combination of a Miramichi thing and a musician thing. There's a bit of a brotherhood, sisterhood there, I guess, with helping people out and
Giving back.
Yeah, and you can't be at every benefit,
No.
and sometimes that puts you in a kind of a different situation too. You
But-
feel like I went and helped this person, but
I
I
know.
can't go to this
You
person
can't
because
be everything to
you
everybody,
have,
though.
life gets in the way
Yes.
quite a bit.
And you have children.
I do, yeah. I have 2 beautiful daughters and 2 handsome stepsons,
Wow.
and 1 equally, if not more handsome grandson.
Oh, grandson as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're a musician above all these
Yeah.
other wonderful things you
Yeah,
have
I've
going
been
on.
doing this for a number of years. I guess I'm kind of morphing maybe out of the musician into the singer-songwriter role.
Yes, yes.
I played a lot. I used to do the pubs and everything, and kind of got away from that. And when you start looking back, and reflecting, it was a long time. I got my first paid gig in 1990.
Oh my.
Wow.
We were in high school.
And
we
I
had,
didn't
we
have
had
my
a
first
band.
child then.
Yeah, and it was,
going back.
it was cool. We were just a bunch of young guys, but we were playing the stuff of the day,
Yeah.
Northern Pikes and In Excess and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Myself, Gavin Coughlin, a really good friend of mine, Colin Curtis, and Darcy McLaughlin of
And Darcy.
Sun
Darcy.
of 95.9. Darcy was in the band with us, and
Yeah.
just kind of, I never really had much of a break since that. I mean, you know, I didn't jump on a bus and tour extensively or anything like that, but you know, all the little watering holes from you know, Boys Town to Bay St. Anne, and you know, a lot of the, like, I'll talk to some of the kind of up and coming musicians now from time to time, because I'm kind of almost I'm almost in, like, you know, the Godfather role, I guess. But you know, and they'll
No, that means we're old and I'm not
yeah,
with that.
but I mean, they've never heard of places like the Ambassador, or they've heard of them, but they, you know, they no longer exist. I played
Exactly.
the Ambassador, you know, the low tide and the high,
Yes.
just all the and all the
Everywhere.
little halls and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And now, look at you, you've got your guitar.
I do.
And so we're really anxious to hear this
Yes.
music,
Well,
Wade.
thank you.
Have, just briefly before you delve into your song, just quickly maybe tell us the name of the song and about your new album that you have coming out.
Okay, yeah, I have I just released my first EP. It's called 6 Songs, 6 Strings, and Me, and it's just, that's what you get. It's just six original songs, written by myself, recorded. You know, I played all the guitar parts, did the both vocal parts, a little bit of percussion. It's a pretty simple recording. There's no full band or anything, because I want to try to emulate that when I perform live.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when people come out, you know, there's no smoke and mirrors, and that's kind of what I'm about anyway.
You're very transparent. So what is this called, this song?
This song is called Young.
Young?
Oh.
Yep.
So it's for Veronica and I?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Old gravel road, a little bit of dust. Old pickup truck, a little bit of rust. An old 6-string, 12 moose on ice. Going down to the riverbank paradise. The only thing we had to worry about was what to do for fun. Wish I could find a road map with an off-ramp to take me back to young. Boy meets girl, asks her to the dance. Next thing you know, teenage romance. Then the love light dies and it fades away, and there's still a little hurt inside that never goes away. I often sit and wonder about the things we've said and done, just memories of mistakes we made growing up being young. We lost Joey to the river the summer I turned 12. In my heart and in my memory, he will forever dwell. We lost Mary to a car wreck just a few short years from then. What I wouldn't give just to see them both again. The old road's still here. I drive the same old truck. My life's been good. I've had a bit of luck. I got a pretty good job. I got a beautiful wife. I got the memories of a simple way of life. Some things change, some stay the same. And in my heart, those tiny moments forever will remain. I often sit and wonder about the things we've said and done, just memories of mistakes we made growing up and young. I wish that I could turn back time to where it all begun. That tiny dot on life's road map where we grew up being young. Hey there, Mary, how have you been? Hey there, Joey, miss you, my friend.
I just love it.
I know, me too.
Oh my gosh,
I
Mary
know.
Nick and I were sitting here thinking, what a beautiful song.
I know. I had the
Thank you so much.
goosebumps.
Thank
I
you
had the
so much.
goosebumps, and
Well,
I.
that's good.
It's
That's,
so
from a songwriting
beautiful.
standpoint, I guess that's a
Yeah.
success.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
thank
did
you so
too.
much.
Truth be told, it's
Yeah.
a very, very pretty song with a great story to
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much. It's one that's kind of starting to connect with people. I've had people say, oh, I really like that
I
song.
love that right off the beat.
And I hope that it does have a lot of personal references in
Okay.
there, but I guess I want it to be so that people from all over can relate.
Can relate to
You know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I can relate to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And the melody's beautiful.
Thank you so
And if
much.
I may say so, you've always been strong in your vocal cords, but now you're getting better.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I think that you're writing songs that really come from the soul.
Yeah.
So then when it comes from a real personal spot, you're able to exude it.
Yeah, and thank you so much. That means a lot, Judy,
strong.
because I gave up trying to write songs that sounded like other people.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's not sounding like that.
No, and it's tough because when you grow up, with admiring people like John Mellencamp, John Prine, Steve Earle, those
Do
are
you
all
like
kind-
Dwight Yoakam?
Yeah, of course.
I do
yeah,
too.
Yeah, and and trying to pinpoint yourself into a genre too is kind of
Yes.
thing. I mean that sort of does have a little bit of a country feel,
Mm-hmm.
but the other songs on the album, it's kind of a full gamut. There's no death metal on there, but it's an
But
acoustic
you know what?
album. But
It
I
just
love that.
it brought me home.
oh, well, that's
Like that
nice.
was it made me think of, because I was thinking, and you talked a little bit about the personal references in there, but it was like it made me think back to home and
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Well, that's good. I mean, if it connects with, if I can, like, this whole process for me, it's really been about the songs and the songwriting. And it took me a long time to get this done. Like,
Yes.
I put it off forever and ever and ever, and then I just finally said, you know what, let's get this done. And with the help of Terry Whalen, I mean, Terry's a driving
Great
force
guy.
here
Well, isn't he amazing?
on
Yeah.
the river,
Yes,
and
he
he's really he was always there pushing me,
Awesome.
And one thing it's done too is it's kept me to be more creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't stopped writing. I've got a bunch of songs in the bank now that I could probably go out and do again, which is I never thought I'd ever get there.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
And
That would
what
have been
a
a good
great-
album title actually.
Well, what a great feeling, though, to have your own CD finally accomplished and out
it's
for
very
sale.
surreal and humbling, and again,
Wonderful.
it's to me, and I hope with this connection with the songs is that I want people to just dissect the songs and just sit and listen to them, and I think that might be an advantage of it just being a simple production, because I'm no Chet Atkins on the guitar, and I'm no like Vince Gill on vocals, but I hope that I'm half
You're
decent with
unique in your-
pen and paper,
Isn't he, though?
So-
Where can we buy it?
Well, I have a little bit of a different approach with the CD
Okay.
in terms of sales and stuff.
Okay.
I did a pretty limited order. So what I've decided to do is when people come out to a show, they get the CD for free.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a
so
great
it's
thing.
$15 to come to the show, and you can either look at it as a free CD with the $15 show, or a $15 show with the with the CD for
Yeah.
free.
it's a win-win.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it helps. I just want to get the songs out there and for people to share them and that kind of
Yes.
thing, and it also eliminates the the issue of setting up a merch table
Totally.
and asking somebody to work that, and then you play a couple of songs,
hard.
and then you have to say, well, by the way, I have CDs over there for sale.
Right,
So
right. Different approach.
yeah, and I did do, just after being like almost at gunpoint, I had so many people up in my hometown that really wanted it, and then I got thinking, well, maybe they won't get out to a show.
Yeah.
So a few weeks back, I just did a little Facebook blast there that I would be at the local restaurant up there, and I just kind of asked the owners if I could have a table, and I bought some coffee, and people would come in and buy the CD that way.
And it went well?
It went very well, actually.
Great.
Yeah.
Great support.
Yes, yeah, and hopefully they'll come out to the shows as well.
Okay, tell us about some of these shows in case we do want to go and our viewers want
Yes,
to go.
yes. Well, the official launch will be this Thursday night at Saltwater Sounds on Water Street.
Yes,
Um,
Chatham.
Chatham, yeah. So doors open at 7 o'clock. Show starts at 7:30. And Terry Whalen will be opening up for me that night. And then Saturday night, this Saturday, the 16th, we're going up to the Renews, the Membership Folklore Park.
Yes, yeah.
And Renews, same time. Doors at 7, show at 7:30, and I am very lucky to have Jessie, the artist, coming to do that show with me.
Jessie, the artist.
Yes.
Oh, Jessica Martin, she's
Jessica
just
Martin,
phenomenal.
she is phenomenal.
She actually did the artwork on my on the EP, and then actually on all the discs.
Yeah, she's a brilliant young girl.
Oh, yeah,
she
she's
really
amazing.
is.
So she's coming to do that show with me. And then on the 23rd of March, I'm going way upriver to Boys Town.
Yes. Way upriver.
Yeah, the Tipsy Canoe.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to do a show up there, same time.
That's
same,
good to keep it the same.
With Jack Bowie has come along with me. Jack and I have been, Jack's another. There's so many talented people in Miramichi, singer-songwriters, and so many people have been part of this project with me. Like Terry Whalen recorded it for me. Wynn Curtis did the photography for me. Jessie did the artwork, and I was very fortunate to have Jason Berry do the mixing and stuff for me.
Jason.
Jason's a really good friend of mine. We go back 30 years. And then it's just.
It's rewarding. It's totally
I mean,
phenomenal.
just when you look around, there is a bit of a scene. We're coming a long way. I think we just got to get more people out to support these local shows and stuff. I've been doing a few little songwriter things. I don't really do the pub stuff anymore. I get asked all the time. I just deny it. And people will, Wynn Curtis has bought in some acts over the years. The Duplicity Boys have done some stuff, and I've been fortunate enough to just, do you want to open up that? And that gives me a chance to go out and do a 20-minute set, 4 or 5 songs of original stuff, and then you got Dylan Ryan is just, beating his drum there and doing a great job all over the province. And again, Terry, Jessie, Jack, the guys from After Surf there. I mean, it's just...
We have to be so proud of all these artists.
And we cover everything, It's and what's neat about that is that nobody, there's only 2 kinds of music, good and bad.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I listen to everything, and I started out as a bit of a rocker, I guess, back in my younger days, but I can't write a rock song. I've tried, and I just can't do it.
Well, you're putting them out, though. If you have an album, you're constantly thinking, what was going to draw me to make this new song?
Yes, exactly, and they come
inspirations
from everywhere,
Of course they do,
Yeah.
but I'm really proud, and I love that choice you played today.
Well, thank you so much.
The title again is Young.
Young.
It's just plain. It's just young.
Yeah.
I know, I loved it.
Well, it's hard to put music to the right melody, and you nailed it.
So
Well,
we're
thank
almost
you.
out of time, which is hard to believe. But how do people get a hold of you, Wade?
Oh, well,
albums, to buy your album.
Actually, if you could come out to the shows and support the show, you'll get the album for free. It's $15 to get in the door, and you come home with an album. Aside from that, there's no real retail, thing yet. I'm not into the whole website thing or anything. This singer-songwriter thing is new but old, I guess, for me.
We're all done.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're all done.
You were fantastic.
So
Keep up the great work.
I can't thank our guests enough. We got chills with Wade and chills with Jordan, so it was a fantastic show. Don't forget to tell all your friends, come out to the shows. We'll see you next Monday.
Happy St. Patrick's
Have
Day,
a
everybody.
great week and have a safe St. Patrick's Day.
And don't drink.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.